Xbox is the destiny of the video game console industry. If you went back in time and told Sega that despite letting all of their exclusives have an open relationship with every other console save for the Nintendo Switch, they would still be one of the 3 companies who have actually made it in the console market, I'm pretty sure the CEO would have just jumped. And the worst part about this is that it's completely self-inflicted. I already mentioned the video game NTR that's going on, but that aside, Xbox Game Pass is a steal. Wait a minute. Wasn't I supposed to be flaming them? Nah. Pause. Let me finish. Xbox Game Pass is a steal, dare I say, even with the new price tag. And they know that because this is just Xbox playing the long game. They've got a fuck ton of Halo Infinite cosmetic and fucking Minecraft Minecoin add-on money to burn. And they're using it to get people addicted to the Netflix of gaming so they can jack up the price. And all of a sudden you're paying for the equivalent of 5 Xbox consoles per year. And they also remove the ability to pay for Game Pass using points. Fuck you, Microsoft. But this has been backfiring because nowadays normies are figuring out how to use Microsoft.com and cancel their subscriptions. We've played these games before. We've seen this shit before. Netflix charges us like $15 a month and gives us Big Mouth, Cuties, and the dogshit Cleopatra documentary in return. Toilet humor, pedophilia, or historical revisionism. Which slop will it be today, sir? And let's add another layer to the Xbox failure sandwich we've got going on. They just don't give a fuck about their mainline franchises anymore, at least not enough to keep them up to par. Gears might as well be dead. Halo, live service, so it's basically dead. Play MCC. Forza Horizon 5, boring as shit, in my opinion. They forced Arcane to make Redfall and the studio responded by making it garbage in order to symbolically blow their own brains out, or at least that's what I've been told. I'm an unreliable narrator. They bought Activision, they got access to COD, Overwatch, Hearthstone, etc. And the only reason why those are still kicking is because they're letting Activision do their own thing. But Activision is its own can of worms for a different video. Same with Bethesda, ZeniMax, etc. They have the Infinity Stones of gaming, and yet every time they snap their fingers, it's one of their projects that gets turned to dust. What I'm trying to say is that if Xbox doesn't shape up, someone else is going to be taking their spot, and that someone is most likely going to be Steam. Steam just released a trailer for their new Steam hardware, along with a new Steam Deck that hasn't been announced, but it's definitely coming. They announced the Gabe Cube, not its real name, but I forgot what it was, so I'm calling it this, and the Steam Frame VR headset. The main reason why Xbox should be quivering in their boots right now is because the Steam library is staggeringly massive. Most games release on Steam. Not releasing on Steam is like trying to sell lemonade next to a dumpster that's infamous for smelling like piss. Whenever a non-Steam game comes to it, its player base basically doubles. Xbox knows this. I can tell because of how Overwatch, COD, Halo, etc. were ported to Steam within months of the merger. You might be saying, not every Xbox game got ported to Steam. True, very true, but it doesn't matter. The Gabe Cube is a PC console hybrid thingy, and as such, it can run Windows. A lot of people mod their Steam Decks to run Windows because they use the deck as a gaming device and also as a daily driver PC for work. So it essentially has access to any game Microsoft puts on the PC store, which is basically all of them nowadays, due to them pushing Game Pass and wanting you to be able to access your Game Pass games from anywhere. So if the Steam Deck has a bunch of heavy-hitting Xbox games, with the rest being fairly within reach to people who know how to flash custom firmware and like an hour, why the hell does this refrigerator Wi-Fi box looking ass console even exist anymore? PlayStation and Nintendo are greedy too, but they aren't stupid. They know that the minute they give up all their exclusives, they basically have no reason to exist. We're most likely going to have to pay the mafia to take over Nintendo from the inside if we ever want to see Mario Kart on PlayStation. But before we end this video, I just want to remind you guys that I'm not glazing Steam. I'm not going to bounce on it for a company just because I like their plastic box more than I like the other company's plastic box. When the Steam Deck released, people were swearing up and down that it was going to kill the Switch. It did not kill the Switch. I don't think Steam really has a chance of knocking down Nintendo from the death grip it has on the portable console market anytime soon, because the majority of people who have Steam already have a PC and most likely wouldn't be willing to shell $500 for a slightly shittier portable experience. Steam gamers have been sitting in their gamer chairs letting them get nice and crusty for years, so they'll be damned if they move now. The Steam Deck mainly appealed to people who had Steam games and wanted to play portably, or just really fucking hated Nintendo. But if Nintendo keeps the $80 game keycard shenanigans up, they might have a chance. It's very slim, but they might have one. The Steam Deck was obviously objectively the better choice, but most people don't use objective reasoning when it comes to a hobby they do for fun, as we can deduce from the fact that NBA 2K still has a player base. In conclusion, will you be buying a Steam Deck or any of the new Steam hardware? Let me know in the comments. My Insta, TikTok, and Discord are in the description. Sub to the main channel. And yeah, see ya.
I was just a kid in the suburbs doing alright. Then I became a young nigga overnight. When I catch low it's gonna be on site. 4.5s and ARPs. Up in the trenches with my new family. And a gang that's built on loyalty.